This is a first video in a sequence of videos on regular expressions, or regexes, as they're sometimes called. We're going to be doing them, of course, in Python, but regular expressions, it turns out, is really another programming language that is built into most other programming languages. So there's a version in Python, but there's also a version in Perl, in C, PHP, which is used for a lot of internet programming. So regular expressions are used for doing searches inside of a string for some kind of expression, and they're optimized, so they're pretty quick. And they're also, if you get used to using them, can be done pretty compactly. So we're going to give, in this video, an overview or an introduction to regular expressions, and then we'll build up and make them more complicated as we go along. But we're going to try to keep it pretty basic in this video. Alright, to do this in Python, the first thing you have to do is import the regular expressions module. So import RE, and you need a string to search in. So in this file, we're going to be searching in a string A, which is cdseb space cff. And then this is how you set up a search. Search equals regular expression dot search, and this is the thing that we're looking for. This is the thing we're looking in, and then there's some optional flags here that you can set. You can use this to control things like if you want to search for uppercase or lowercase, or you don't care about the case. Those kinds of things can be set here. I don't know if we're going to go into that or not, but we're certainly not going to get into the flags in this video. Okay, so this first term for re.search, or first parameter, has to be a regular expression. The second thing is the thing that you're searching in, and again, this is the flags. So the very most basic regular expression is what we call a string literal. So I'm just searching to see if the character C is in this string, and of course it is, so we should find it. Alright, now this is a prototype for how these are going to work. Search, if C is not found in the string, is going to return none. So it'll be set to none. So I check to see if search is not none, and if it's not none, I'm going to print out what it's found. So I'll print out this group, search.group. Group is a method inside of search. And then if search is none, I'm just going to print out this thing was not found. So we're going to search for C in here, and we're going to search for EB in the same string A. And again, this is the same setup. If search is not none, we print out the group that it finds. Otherwise, we print out this thing that we were looking for is not found. Okay, so let's run that. And what we get printed out for the first one is search.group is it found the letter C, so it prints off the letter C. There's more information we could get from this, like the position it found it in, this kind of thing, but we just want to figure out if we found it. So the quickest way to find out if some kind of literal is in this string is to do this search and then check to see if it's none. And it also found EB, so it prints out EB. Like I said, there's more information we could get out of this if we wanted to, but really what I want to get out of these videos is not so much how Python handles regular expressions and the various features of search, re.search. What I really want to do is look at the syntax for regular expressions, because this is something that you can take and use in other languages. And if you end up using other languages, you will. Okay, so basic search, string literals. Now if that's all it did, there wouldn't be much to this, but it turns out regular expressions have a lot more. Next thing. Suppose that we wanted to look for C, but we only wanted C's that occur at the beginning. Or another way to think about this, probably a better way to think about this, is what if we want to know what kind of format the first character in our string has? Well, it turns out there's a code for that. If you do a caret and then some kind of search sequence, this means look for this pattern. So in regular expressions, you actually have a pattern that you look for. Look for this pattern in the first position. So this is going to look for a C in the first position. This is our standard code. look for a B in the first position, our standard code. And then if you want to look at the last position, you can also look at the last position, and that is a $sign. So this says look for a C in the last position. This says look for an F in the last position. So looking at the string, we should find a C in the first position. This should print out a C. Not a B in the first position. So this should print out B is not found at the beginning of the string. C is not at the end of the string. So this should say C is not found at the end of the string. And then finally, this should print out an F. And that is exactly what we got. Okay, so far, this is not that exciting, but it turns out there's more you can do with regular expressions, as you might imagine. So now we're going to look at classes. I have two strings now, an A and a B. The first one has a capital letter in it, followed by a bunch of characters. The second one has some integers in it. Again, in search, this is the pattern that you're looking for. This is the string you're looking for. And it turns out that using brackets in a regular expression allows you to group things together. So this right here says look for a pattern. I'm looking for any letter, lowercase. This is a lowercase A through Z. So if there's any letter A through Z, look for that, but it has to be lowercase. And I'm looking in this string A. This says look for an uppercase letter in the string A. This says look for an uppercase letter from capital M to capital Z in string A. So here we're expecting the first lowercase letter to be an O, the first capital letter to be the L. Don't see a capital M through Z in here, so this should return an uppercase letter M between M and Z is not found in the string A. And then here we're searching for a digit. So you can also look for digits 0 through 9. Looking for a digit in A, don't see one, but then, so this should print out a digit is not found in the string A. Then we look for a digit in the string B. We will find one, so we won't get to this string. We'll print out the digit, and the first digit we're going to find is the 1. So note that even though we're looking for, in this case, all lowercase letters, it's going to give to you without any further. If you don't add more to what we're searching for, if we just do this, it's going to give you the first lowercase letter it finds, A, or O. O. And down here, when we look in the string B for a digit, it's going to take the first digit that it finds, the 1, and return that. So what should we get? We should get O, L, an uppercase letter between M and Z is not found in the string A. A digit is not found in the string A, and then last we should get number 1. So that's what we get. Just to be clear, this is not putting these in some kind of numerical order. It's finding the first digit. So if I change this to a 5, we should get 5. Okay. Okay. Review. You can put these things together. So this says look for, in the first position, a lowercase letter. This says look in the first position for an uppercase letter. This says look in the first position, uppercase letter between M and Z. Look in the first position for a digit. Look in the first position for a digit. Now, do you know what the answers for these are going to be? Here we're looking in the string A, so first position has a capital L. This should say a lowercase letter is not found at the beginning of the string. Here we're looking in the first position for a capital letter. This should give us a capital L right there at the beginning. Capital M through Z in the first position in A should print this out. An uppercase letter between M and Z is not found at the beginning of the string. This is looking for a digit at the beginning of A. There isn't one, so it should print a digit is not found at the beginning of the string. This is looking for a digit at the beginning of B, and that digit at the beginning of B is 1, so this should print out a 1. And there you go. So far, this seems pretty easy. And hopefully, if we do this right, regular expressions won't seem so bad If you now head off and do a Google search for regular expressions, you may not get what you hope for. You can look through regular expressions and they can seem pretty complicated until you break it down into the very basics. So we're going to start at the basics and try to build ourselves up to some of those more complicated and nightmarish looking regular expressions you might find on the internet.